Hey guys, welcome to episode 21 of Scribbles with Jonathan. I'm your host, Jonathan Rector. Today we're going to watch me do a little sci-fi guy sketch, and I thought I would talk a little bit about staying focused as I draw it. I'll probably do a little bit of commenting here and there. I've already done a quick underlying drawing, just so I don't have to spend too much time doing that before I can actually tighten it up. I'm just using a regular blue Bic pen right now, just to do the darkening. I'm not a big fan of inking. It's something I should definitely look into doing. Actually, this weekend there was the Toronto Comic Arts Festival, I believe it was called, TCAF. And I met an old friend, Jamie, and her husband Kevin, and we were talking a little bit, looking at all the artists' works and stuff. And a lot of them are inking, and I know a lot of artists, especially comic book artists, they ink their own work. And it's something I've never really gotten into too much. I rely a little bit on Photoshop to just darken up my pencils and go from there. I kind of like the look of it. But, I think we should all experiment a little bit more on, developing our techniques, whether it be pencil, ink, coloring, the whole works. It'll make you a better artist in general anyway. But for the topic anyway, for focus, and where I wanted to go with that was, how do you stay on focus, and especially if you have deadlines, whether they be client-based or your own deadlines. And I do want to just drift a little bit real quick on that. If you're not working for a client right now, I strongly believe that you should still make your own personal deadlines. Whether it's, today I want to work on my own story, today I want to learn how to draw this better, whether it's I want to learn more about this today. If you go back to a previous video of scheduling, you could try doing what I do just to see how that works for you. Base it in like a week chunk or a couple days. And even if it was something like, setting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for life drawing. And if you can't attend a life drawing class, just, the internet's wonderful for this. You can just grab a magazine and just do life drawing. But to actually stick to those deadlines, try to get into your brain the routine of having to get this stuff done. And I forget where I heard it. I'm pretty sure it was on Art and Story. Somebody had said the comment, I believe it was Mark Rudolph, something about to the extent of being an artist, especially an independent artist, it's basically like being a father or a parent. Even if you don't want to be, that child's still going to be there, and they're always going to be wanting the attention. And you can't just wake up one day going, I don't want to be a dad or a mother today. It just doesn't work. So what you have to do is you have to figure a way to treat it in the same vein. And you'll slowly find that, you'll get the routine and the motions going that you'll actually want to do it. But I keep drifting here. The focus, and I can't go too much into it. I'm just going to basically go through what's been working for me. And if you're struggling a little bit, maybe it'll work for you. The number one thing that I've really been getting into that's helping me phenomenally is turning off the internet. And it's not your computer. I'm not talking about turning off your computer. I find like if you don't have the internet on your computer, there's very limited things you're going to do anyway. If you're a big video game player, possibly uninstalling the video games on your computer. Or, if video games are a big thing for you. For me, I had to end up selling all my systems, so I wouldn't even have, the desire, even if I wanted to just take a quick break and play a video game real quick. Now I can't do that. I've taken everything out of my life that's a distraction to what I want to get out of life, if that makes any sense to you guys. I want this to be a profession, and I need to get rid of all the distractions that get me away from doing so. And for me, a big one of it was, spending too much time focusing on video games and not, my illustration. And I would even go ahead and say things like, I would play my games to get inspiration, or I would play my games to, get ideas and all those sorts of things. And it's just a lie. It's like a lie to yourself. I mean, you could play cool-looking video games, and you might get some actual ideas from it. But when your time that you're spending on your in this case video games is more than the time you're spending illustrating, for me, then it's a big no-no, right? Like and when you say it, it doesn't sound like it's a big complicated thing, and it shouldn't be. It's just I think we put too much stress on ourselves to actually get the work done and put the nitty-gritty down. So yeah, number one, get rid of all the internet, especially. if you need your computer to like do your coloring or your scanning and stuff, that's fine. Nobody's saying not to do that. Just for me, literally just unplug the internet or just turn the computer off if you're not going to need it for the day. If you have to do scanning and things, that's fine. But once your work day is done, you can plug your internet back in. It's not a big deal. And I think that you're going to find that you're going to start having a little bit of withdrawals. You're just going to be like, oh, I'm kind of bored. I'll just mess around on here, mess around on there every now and then. But, if you set I hear certain people, they say setting them out, like an hour, 20 minutes in the afternoon and then at night to look at emails and things. And, that might work for some of you guys. And definitely try that if you need to wean yourself off a little bit. But for me, just getting rid of the internet altogether makes me focus big time because there's nothing else I can do. I could go for a walk, I could read a book, look at a comic, but the internet, there's always a link to click. There's always something happening, and unfortunately, that's the biggest thing. So, internet, scratch that. Get rid of that. The other one, like I said, was getting rid of all the distractions that are causing you distraction. And don't feel afraid to sell your stuff. Like for me, I had all three of the current generation systems. I had a PS3 at one time, an Xbox, and a Wii. And that's quite a bit of cash. I even bought an HD TV just so that I could get the better experience in those games. And while I had an awesome time with it, my drawing suffered big time because I wasn't spending as much time with it. I was drawing a lot, but it was a big distraction. And the biggest withdrawal that I had was all this money I spent on the games and the systems. Like, if you go to sell that stuff, you can't recoup all that cost. And it's one of those times where you have to just swallow your pride, and it's one of those things where that may be the turning point for you. Are those a big distraction for you? Can you get rid of it? If you can't, then maybe you need to think about what it's doing to you. For me, it was a little bit reserved, and what I ended up doing was selling the systems that I didn't play as much. The Wii was the first to go, and then the PlayStation 3 was the next to go, and then my Xbox was the last one, and it was kind of hard to do, but for me, it was like, I got to do this. It had to be done. So, getting rid of distractions, big thing. Other than that, to stay focused, I do like to keep, for me anyway, a couple of art books or my favorite comics, just kind of like within arm's reach. If I need to take a quick break, just flip through one of those to get some inspiration. And that works for me anyway. So, these are some, I know people talk about this to death, and there's some truth in it. And, I really think that as an artist and a creative person, whether you're a writer, photographer, anything, it's trying to find what those distractions are and then trying to find out why you're doing those distractions as opposed to actually wanting to actually do what you want to do. We all talk about, we want to all be professionals and we all want to make it, quote in the air. But if your time is spent doing these distractions, that's the biggest thing that makes you lose your focus, to me anyway. And I guess that's about all I got to say about that. It just the focus is a really simple thing. It's just something that you need to practice on, just like everything else. And things start falling into place a lot quicker. You'll notice once your focus is where it should be, and you'll feel more rounded out. But anyway, this drawing's coming to about an end here. I didn't know where I was going with it. It was just a guy with a face. I just knew I wanted some sort of like techno garbage on there. And like I do with most of these, I'll just go on and I'll show you a closer high-res image of it scanned in, just so you guys can see some of the details on there. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. You can get a hold of me on Twitter. My username is artbyjar. You can check out my website at jonathanrector.com. And don't forget to subscribe to keep you guys self up to date with the videos. So guys, hope you guys are having an awesome day. Keep focused, keep pumping out that awesome work. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. And this should catch me up with all the videos that I've missed. And after tomorrow's video, I'll catch you guys next week. Alright, so take care, guys. Have a great one. Bye.